friends, and welcome to TurtleQueenGaming, and back to Nicole. Now, if you haven't noticed, I'm recording a whole bunch of these in succession, simply because at the end of this week, which will be in like 2 days when this specific video goes up, I have, excuse me, Tuttle's a little off kilter. Get back up there. Game Convention, which is a convention in Springfield, Missouri, dedicated to people who enjoy, like, all types of gaming, whether it's video games, Dungeons and Dragons, card-based games like Magic, all games, and it's so much fun. I have a booth there along with my friend from Tiny Wampity Creations, who again made my hat, and Prince Tuttle over here. She's also making things like Poros, which will be going with Fantasy Suites Poro snacks, which will be on sale in bundle form. They're going to be delicious and adorable, so which is a truly awesome combination, to be quite fair. But yes, I'm recording a whole bunch of these, probably into actually next week, because during that weekend I'm going to be completely insane. When this video goes up, I will actually be in my kitchen, making the kitchen explode, because there'll be chocolate and flour and shit everywhere, as I make all of my awesome creations for Fantasy Suites, which need to be brought to game. Luckily, I'll have actually had time to work on them, which is, again, why I'm recording everything in succession now. Last time, we met Darren, who is adorable and painfully shy. Why did my morale go so, why does it drop so hard? Alright, yeah, let's do some jogging, just to get some, there we go. Lowest my energy, but I'll live. Should probably get some clues. That was a very short day. Oh, there are 10 possible endings. 4 normal romance endings and for the 4 dateable characters. 4 special endings with them if you solve the mystery. And a lone ending if you don't romance anyone, and a bad ending if you investigate the mystery but don't have anyone who can help you in the final scene. Oh. So, I guess that makes sense. So I will what about, isn't there a neutral? Oh, okay. An alone ending if you don't romance anyone. Okay, so if you don't if you just go through life, like go through college, then you will get the alone ending, but you get a bad ending if you get too nosy but don't actually make anybody like you. Makes sense. I'm getting nervous. Econ class is going to end soon, and normally I'd be so ready to get out of here, but it's different today. Today we're going to get our scores back on our first test. It's only natural to get nervous, but I don't know how to feel at all. It was kind of hard for our first test, and I can only imagine that what my score could possibly be. At this point, it's up in the air. My mind's elsewhere as my teacher continues with his lecture. I'm barely registering that I'm typing. The seconds tick by, seemingly ever so slowly, and finally the teacher ends his lecture to announce that he's going to be handing back our test scores today. This is the class that I'm taking with Kurt, I think. Like nobody knew that already. Shoosh. The teacher assistants have already sorted the test into separate stacks based on our last name. They're placed on the table in the front of the class, and the TAs stand by, watching just in case there's some confusion. Or a riot starts from pushing and shoving people will from the pushing and shoving people will do to get to their test. I take my time packing up my stuff. People pass Mommy on their way to the front, and there's already a small mob forming around the piles. I guess I should wait until it thins out before I go. Might as well. A few more minutes, and I see my chance. There's only a few people surrounding the table now. I pick up my shoulder bag and hurry down. Last names with G are in the first group, and I think the work of my classmates has turned the stack into a messy pile. Of course, they couldn't keep it neat. Oh well, makes it easier to look for my name. I feel a sense of dread as I search for Grave. Most of the scores I see are marked in red and in the 60 to 70 range. I mean, considering the class is going to be scaled down, that's not so bad. I'm guessing that Kurt has my test. But I studied really hard for this test. Hopefully it pays off. Okay, this is weird. I'm sure I looked around the whole pile for my test, and I haven't found anything yet. Wait. Kurt has my test. Oh, wait, here it is. I recognize my handwriting peeking out from a few other tests, and I pull my packet free. On the top of it is marked an 85 in red ink. Yes, oh man, I feel like dancing right now. It's not an A, but it's a solid B. Way better than all those C's and D's I saw scattered around. And if the average is low, this could be enough to set me an A for the class. I take another look at my score, admiring it for a moment before I pull my shoulder bag in front of me to stick my test inside. Ah, goddammit! Wow, I didn't know Kurt was still here. When I look over, I can see the test packet in his hands. I can't see the score from where I'm sitting, but I can tell from the look on his face that it can't be good. And from the fact that he didn't come to class except when there was, like, a test right around the corner. He deserves whatever score he got. I should really just let it go. Whatever it isn't my business. But I'm so curious. What could the oh-so-great Marjorie get or have scored to cause such an angry reaction? I wait until Kurt seems to have calmed down. Not that it says much. His fingers are squeezing so hard into his test that it looks like he's about to crush it. Everything all right there, Marjorie? Kurt turns on me, looking ready to yell, but he recognizes who I am, and his expression softens, and a forced grin welcomes my presence. Hey there, Grave. You heard that, huh? I see the rest of the remaining students are giving us a wide berth, eyeing Kurt like he's a bomb ready to explode. I'm pretty sure they heard you in the next hall over. I can already tell this is going to be a touchy subject. So how'd you do? I figured asking the question in a sing-song voice would make it easier on the big guy. However, Kurt's voice lowers, and as does his gaze. Ooh, maybe it didn't work as well as I hoped. Kurt glances over the shoulder like the other, then the other, like he's checking if anyone's listening in on us. Hey, can we talk somewhere else? Jeez, I just wanted to know his score, not his life secrets. I agree, though, and Kurt leads me out of the classroom and outside. He leans against a nearby tree and groans, the base of his palm pressed to his forehead. I failed the damn test. Well, what did you expect, Marjorie? I figured you did. Wow, try to show a little more sensitivity, Nicole? Yeah, you're not best buddies with this guy, but it's not like you'd want someone to talk to you like this after you just failed. I try again. What did you score? If it's like in the 50s or 60s, you should be okay. Kurt shows off his test packet, and I hold back a grimace when I see a score of 42 written on the top of his test. Oh no, you failed. Yeah. Okay, that's not the 50s or 60s. I rock uneasily on my heels, trying to think of a way to make the situation better. Well, we have 4 other tests. If you rock out those, then you should make up for it. Ugh, it won't matter. Kurt growls and looks about ready to punch something. I only hope he's enough of a gentleman not to hit a girl. I don't get any of this. It's all numbers and stupid graphs. I thought it was going to be common sense stuff. Econ is econ. Wow, that sounded lame, but I don't know what else to tell him. How'd you study for the test? Well, I skimmed the chapters. And I skimmed the chapters. Kurt looks at me with a sheepish grin, and I sigh in response. My ear itches so badly. That's your problem. You need to study better. Take it from me. I show him my test score proudly, not gloating enough to rub it in his face, mind you, but hey, I worked hard for this. I think I know what I'm doing in this class. He's gonna want you to tutor. Whoa. Kurt is genuinely impressed, and I silently congratulate myself for being able to throw him off for a change. However, I soon notice a wry smile form on his face, and I slowly feel the tables turn. Hey, Grave. He's the one using the sing-song voice now. When Kurt uses a sing-song voice, it cannot mean something good's about to follow. What is it? What do you want? Hey, what's with that attitude? It's not like I just asked anyone to tutor the great Kurt Marjorie. Please tell me I didn't hear that right. You want me to tutor you? See? Look, you're as smart as I thought. No, no way. Not happening. I'd rather choke on our textbook. Wow, that was really, really harsh. Ouch, straight to the heart. He holds a hand to his chest and pretends he's wounded. It'll be a real wound if he keeps this up. Look, sorry, but I haven't really done this tutoring thing before, so I'll have to pass. Good luck, though. I try to walk away from Kurt, but he hurries in front of me and holds his arms out wide. Jeez, I forgot how big this guy is. Move it or lose it, Madri. No means no. Hey, can't you just hear me out? He gives me this puppy dog look and manages to make my heart melt upon sight. Man, I bet he rehearses this all the time to get what he wants. Fine, but I'm only giving you 5 minutes. Starting now. I told you I was here on an athletic scholarship, right? So if I fail, everything goes bad. Yep, and I know that means you have to keep a C average or you can't play. If I don't pass this class, I'll be on academic probation, and I have to be able to play ball, or they'll stop paying for my stuff. Kurt sighs and presses his hands together, pleading. Look, trust me when I say that I don't want to bother hiring a tutor, but it's obvious that I need one. Grave, you're my last hope. I'm seriously begging. Gosh, this guy. I can feel my defenses crumbling as he gives me another dose of the puppy dog look. I really don't like Kurt. I don't hate him, but he's far from being a friend. And how much does this gig pay? But he was desperate enough to ask me. I figure sucking up on his pride should count for something. Okay, you got me. I'll help you out. Kurt lets out a whoop and throws his fist in the air. Friggin' sweet! Gonna pass this class for sure now! As I watch Kurt snicker smugly to himself, I get the feeling that he thinks I'll be able to solve all this for him. Thanks, Grave. I owe you one. Just because you have a tutor doesn't mean you're going to make good scores. You have to dedicate yourself. Yeah, that's definitely what he's thinking. I'm not sure what to tell him. It's not like I'm some miracle worker here. I'm gonna have to I'm guessing that telling him, I mean, that's what I would do, was tell, you know, it's not just me, He seriously better not be expecting me to do all the work. I gestured pointedly at Kurt. You're going to have to be the one to apply all the stuff I teach you. I can only do so much. Kurt shoots me an annoyed side glance. I'm not stupid, Grave. I got that much. I was just reminding you. Okay, now I look like some hard ass that doesn't have faith in him. Who would want a tutor like that? Sorry, I do think you can do it if we work at it. I just kind of failed with words for a moment. Yeah, whatever. Kurt fumes briefly. Not that I blame him, but I see him soften after a few beats have passed. You're doing me a real solid just by agreeing. Don't worry about it. But could we work everything out later? I might be late for practice if I don't move. Sure, just text me or something. Let me give you my number. Both of us pull out our cell phones to quickly exchange numbers. As Kurt finishes punching mine in his phone, he wears the most obnoxious smile I've ever seen. Hey, Grave. What is it now? Do you realize what you just did? What? I just gave you my number. I just gave you my number. I hadn't even realized I'd done that. The worst part is that I gave it to Kurt willingly. He didn't even have to trick me. Hey, just for getting in touch about tutoring lessons. Don't let it go to your head, Casanova. Whatever. That doesn't change the fact that I still got your digits. That boy. Kurt saunters away, humming a melody under his breath with words I can faintly recognize as I just got Graves' digits. He continues this down the hall, and soon he passes a corner and disappears out of sight. I'm telling you, that textbook is looking more and more appetizing by the second. Oh dear. Okay. I think we're gonna go with diligence and wit. So I need to go to the library to study. And, let's see. How does tidying up is diligence? Shouldn't that raise my morale? Oh well. Go to sleep. I didn't even read the tip of the day. I've actually, frankly, missed it. Oh well. Search through old newspapers real quick. Get some clues. I can also ask about the disappearances. Seems that weekends are really good for clues. Let's see. I want to go to the public park. I can observe people, for one. And then I can do some jogging to increase my morale. My energy is dead. Having trouble increasing character relationships. Don't worry. After 1 month of time, you'll be able to shop online and buy gifts. That's right. It hasn't been 1 month. It was like beginning of September, isn't it? See? Yeah, there's no way. This game must like go all school year because... Ugh. Extra classes. That's only 1 to 6. Oh, wow. Ah, I only got 2. That was awful. Okay. I need some sort of, like, relaxing energy thingy. I also don't want to be a cheerleader. I'm gonna take a nap. There we go. I feel much better. And then I'm gonna do some homework. Ah, there we go. Now we're slightly seeing an increase in wit. So, I also wanted to do diligence. Okay, so I'm not sure. Because I'm guessing that it's a single characteristic that is what is for each specific guy. Not knowing that, I mean, I guess I can get a normal ending. Can I get a normal ending? I don't know! Hard to tell what... I mean, I'm guessing that Wit is definitely, Jeff. I remembered his name! Poor Jeff. Turtle, get back over here. Zeal. What's train at gym? Diligence. Oh. How do I get a part-time job? I don't have any money. I can't train at the gym. Crap. How do I get jobs? Oh no, I need monies. Oh well, I guess I can go to the park and still jog. I can't believe I let this happen. How scatterbrained can I get? Ugh. What'd I forget? It's gonna be nighttime soon, and instead of being all snug in my dorm, I'm out and about, or in the life sciences department. I need to get back to Professor Garver's lab. I can't find my textbook for his class, and last time I remember having it was when I was over there asking him questions again. I think I might have accidentally left it? I'm hoping I did. I paid good money for that textbook, and with that price tag, I ain't buying another one. So I say, but I'd bet I'd buy another textbook if it came down to it. What can I say? I'm just that dedicated to the path of a good student. I'm just glad that I noticed my book was missing before all the buildings were locked down. I think I have an hour or so until then, so I better get in and then out ASAP. I make it to the lab building and head upstairs, taking the stairs 2 at a time since I'm way too anxious to stand still in an elevator. I don't see many people around, which isn't surprising. It's getting late, and I'm sure people have better things to do than linger around in the lab building. I'm not complaining. The less people are around, the less to witness, and I'd die of embarrassment if anyone saw me running around the building like this. This makes me realize my mistake is in a million steps out of a dorm room too late. This makes me realize my mistake a million steps out of a dorm room too late. Oh, no! What if his lab is locked? Crap, I didn't think of that. If there's no one around, the door's locked, then I just wasted all my time. Oh man, what am I gonna do? How would I be able to get in? I don't bother thinking about that if it comes down to it. Right now, I'll have to hope for the best. I can see the professor's lab coming up this way. It's really quiet on this floor. The weird kind of quiet that you can't even hear any white noise. It must be because barely anyone's in here right now. I almost want to tiptoe just so my footsteps don't disturb the calm. Well, that's kind of stupid. Who's around for me to disturb anyway? I take a breath once I reach the lab door. Do or die time. Well, it's really more do or cry time, because I know I'm going to be crying if I can't get into this lab. I grab a hold of the handle, turn it, and... Whoa! It turned! I look at the handle, unable to believe it. If it's turning... I turn the handle all the way and then push the door, and it opens obediently for me. Yes! It's open! Time to get my book! Though it is kind of weird that the door's unlocked. I mean, this is a lab. You don't want just anyone coming in here and messing things up, right? That's because Jeff's in there, duh. Because he's a workaholic. I really don't get science people sometimes. It's a little dark in the lab, but it's bright enough to see where I'm going. I think it was in the back talking to the Professor Garver, like usual when I took my book out. I should start there. I get excited when I think about how close I am to being home free. So excited, in fact, that I think those noises I hear are the sounds of my beating heart until I listen more carefully. I hum in slight panic as I realize those noises are coming from the back room. Wait, is someone in there? What noises? I try to take a calming breath. Come on, Nicole. It has to be one of the interns who work in the lab. Like, who else could it be? A thief, that paranoid voice in my brain starts saying. A troublemaker, she continues. Shut up, brain! Okay, shut up, paranoid voice. It can't be anything like that. Gosh, how good is our security team here anyway? I don't remember in time before the door suddenly opens. Panicking, I duck down and crawl to the far side of the lab station. My back presses flat against it, and I try my hardest to keep my breath quiet as I hear footsteps. Nervously, I lean over and try to peek at who was there. Please be someone I know. Please don't be a hooligan. Hooligan. My prayers are answered when I see that familiar dark brown head of hair. Oh, thank God, it's just Jeff. And here I am hiding in the lab like a dork. I think it's Jeff. I'm just about to reveal myself when I notice that something's really off about him. It's his face. Like, no, it's not scarred or disfigured, but he is smiling. And it's a really weird kind of smile. It's a very self-satisfied smile, the kind you give yourself after setting up the best practical joke ever and the person completely falls for it. He's walking different too, like a king in his domain. He's also dressed very snappy. There's the kind of swagger to his step, like he knows he owns the area and anyone around should know it too. Man, this is completely surreal. Is he okay? This is perfect. My breath hitches as I hear him speak. That cannot be his voice. I mean, I've heard Jeff speak plenty of times, and he's never spoken like that. Holding a hand over my mouth, I continue watching as he situates himself at a lab station. Hold on a sec. Is that my book he's holding? It totally is, and he's just flipping through it like he owns it. Perhaps I spoke too soon. With a furrowed brow, Jeff sighs and claps the book shut. He releases it from his hands, letting it fall to the lab station with a loud thump. I forgot how utterly useless information from an introductory course on biology was. Of course I wouldn't learn anything new from it. Did he steal my book? Why would he steal my book? I don't understand! He scoffs and eyes my book with a look of disdain. Honestly, I should burn this thing for having brought my hopes up. Oh, I wonder under what conditions the pages would burn best. Perhaps I could also form a colored fire for the procedure. No, don't burn my book! It's expensive! He wants to do what to my book? I move without thinking, and my shoe produces a shrill screeching screech as it rubs against the lab floor. Okay, so either he knew I was there, and he was messing with me, which doesn't seem likely, or the guy is a fucking maniac. Uh-oh, unless Jeff is deaf, he's definitely going to notice that. Is someone there? Jeff's voice sounds like the one I'm used to now, but it's strained, like he's forcing it, which I think he might just be doing. My God, he's a sociopath! The cat's out of the bag now. I stand on my feet apprehensively, keeping my eyes on Jeff the whole time. Hey there, Jeff. I awkwardly gesture to my book. Seems like you found my book. Well, I'll just be on my way now. I simply walk over to him and hastily try to swipe the book away. However, he plants his hand on top of mine before I can pull back. Smiling, his eyes lock onto mine, but I immediately know this is not the same smile I'm used to Jeff giving me. So how long have you been there, Nicole? I'm creeped out. Well, funny story! I pull my book toward me super fast, knocking away Jeff's hand. Hugging it to my chest with an arm, I take a few steps back before I point accusingly at him. I know how to disarm a guy, so you better stay back! I know karate! In theory, my dad taught me a few simple things, but it's not like I've ever had to practice. Jeff looked at me with unfettered amusement. I take that as you were there the entire time. I didn't mean to be. I only came here looking for my book, but then I heard you in the back room and I panicked and I hid, and I wasn't trying to be sneaky. Yes, yes, I suppose that is only natural considering the present climate hovering over our quaint college campus. But this means you have seen things you were not meant to, Nicole. Heard the forbidden. Please don't talk like that. You sound like an old movie villain. I take a few steps back as Jeff advances on me. It was really hard, like I was ready to be creeped out by his demeanor, but you know that even if that were like a line in an actual like live action thing, like you just burst out laughing. You couldn't stop yourself. If you have seen things that weren't meant to be seen, heard the forbidden. I can't take it seriously, Jeff. He reminds me of Cat toying with his prey. That would make me the prey, wouldn't it? I must applaud you. Few are blessed enough to say they have witnessed the true genius of Jeff Ryan. You're a lucky girl, Nicole. Yes, very lucky. You mean the sociopathic version of Jeff Ryan? Wait, the true Jeff Ryan? Jeff, this isn't like you at all. I'm beginning to think someone's been huffing a few too many chemical fumes. I mean, it can't be. You're like super nice and everyone looks up to you in the lab. If that isn't who you really are, then you're saying that's all an act. Duh. My god, Nicole. You hurt my brain sometimes. So, that's why he was getting upset, because, like, I was talking like, oh my god, he's super perfect, and the other girl's like, yeah, I know, right? And he's like, fuck these girls! A farce? Completely, utterly, truly, without rebuke. Jeff raises a hand and shrugs indifferently. Would you be surprised at what you would be surprised at what years of study and practice can do for your social life? That's all human interaction is, a formula. I haven't decided whether or not I like Jeff or not. I mean, he's not wrong. Oh, my spine. Okay. Encounter a person? Simply add 1 part smile and 2 parts warmth, and the chance of a successful exchange is at least 80%. Yeah, well, I mean, that's how everybody... Just look at you. It worked the first time we ever met, did it not? My mind seriously can't handle this right now. So all this time, even back then, that kind, warm, good-natured Jeff was this loony, egocentric, mad scientist wannabe all along? Yeah. Well, I mean, let's face it, he's not House, you know. He's not Sherlock Holmes. He just wants to be. And people tend to not let you get away with, like, acting like a dick. You don't get access to fancy chemicals and labs and privileges. You have to pretend to be the good guy and then play your little, like, crazy scientist games obviously in the nighttime. But why would you go through all this trouble to pretend to be someone you're not? That doesn't make any sense. I don't recall ever owing you an explanation. I do what I do because I'd be bored otherwise. An honest answer, if you would, please. Would I be as popular as I am today if I acted like this? How I truly am? You have 10 seconds to answer, and please make sure your reply is a simple yes or no. Huh? That is not a yes or a no. I know that! You're just confusing me right now with your big brain talk, because I'm poor Nicole and don't understand. I hold a hand to my head. My thoughts won't stop spinning right now. No, I don't think people would like you very much if you're being a huge jerk like you are right now. Jeff snaps his fingers. Correct! Sharp, Nicole. I had a feeling you were sharp. I feel like I should be insulted. Anywho, now that you know, I'm afraid I'll have to kill you. What? I am joking, of course. I stomp my foot and yell in frustration, shaking out my nerves. Don't do that! It's not funny! Yes, yes, your girlish screams are of no entertainment to me, but seriously, do not speak a word of this to anyone. I work tirelessly to make sure my image is flawless. You just happen to be an unfortunate accident. Do you understand? Not a word. I don't care much to let others know a genius sleeps among them. Jeff snickers under his breath as I ponder over his proposal. I honestly still can't believe that Jeff I thought I knew was basically a lie. If that's the case, why should I keep letting him lie to everyone else too? Yeah, like, I'm not getting anything out of it. This is definitely a save point. But it's true. Like, he's like, you can't tell anyone that I'm a huge fucking dick. And I'm like, listen here. It benefits me letting everybody know that you're a huge fucking dick, because you're a huge fucking dick, and that would amuse me that you get in trouble for it. And so, like, me keeping it a secret and allowing you to keep this, like, ridiculous thing up while you quietly mock others. See, but I like this Jeff. This Jeff is, like... That's why I like characters like House and like, the Sherlocks that they've portrayed recently on TV. Things like, they're honest. They don't adhere to the social contract that people... And that's what he's doing. He's doing the whole stupid social contract thing so that he can be popular. Why does he want to be popular if he hates people? It doesn't make any sense. Nobody would believe me. He'd just make me look stupid. He's a year older than I am. He's been here longer. But I don't want to just agree not to say anything, because that's stupid. Plus, but that's probably what I need to do in order to increase the relationship thingy with him. Well, I'm going for Ted or, Darren in this playthrough. Like, officially, so I'm just gonna go with my gut reaction on him. What is your problem, though? You act like a total jerk and then don't expect anyone to call you out on it? I shake my head. I can't condone that. I don't think I can keep your secret. Instead of being affronted or taken off guard like I expected, Jeff simply starts laughing. As predictable as anyone else, Nicole. How truly disappointing. To think I was able to see this coming as clearly as the definition of an HD monitor. Ugh, I need to stop him before he busts any more of my lame busts out any more lame metaphors. I don't care. I'm not going to promise you anything. Then I'm afraid your built-up rapport with the dear professor will be all for naught. For why would he want to associate with a girl who broke into his lab? But I didn't break into his... Annoying glance from Jeff is all I need to understand what he's up to. You're seriously not blackmailing me over this right now. Oh, but I am. Yes, you may not be doing anything unsavory, but the very fact that you're in his lab will be enough to make the professor wary around you. Not something you want from a man in charge of your grade, no? I can't believe this guy! What a complete and total ass! Ugh! Fine, whatever. You don't want me to say anything, then I won't. There. The way Jeff starts laughing under his breath is enough to make me want to punch him in the face. I had a feeling you'd see it my way, Nicole. I like this guy less and less. You said that you came to the lab to retrieve your lost book. He gestures at the textbook in my hands. Well, there is your useless textbook in your arms. You may leave my sights now. Trust me, I can't wait to leave his sights as soon as I can. However, before I go, there's one thing that's bothering me. I'm going. But can you tell me why you're here why were you even here so late in the first place? That's pretty weird. An innocent enough question. I suppose I can grace you with my answer. It is simple. I am just the person who volunteers to make sure that everything in the lab is in its place. Doing so allows me time afterward to spend in the lab by myself. Why do I do that, however, will still remain my secret. Such an idea of genius would be difficult to grasp, I'm sure. That's the best laugh in the world, man. Like, I love how it's typed out exactly how it technically sounds. I do my best not to be creeped out and fail miserably. Okay, I'm going to leave you to whatever it is you're doing here. Unconcerned, Jeff waves me off as I quickly leave the lab and slam the door shut behind me. Did that just really happen? Who would have thought that Mr. Perfect was actually too perfect to really exist? One thing I know for sure, though, I'm going to be spending a lot less time in Professor Garver's lab now. Well, on that note, I was wondering, because she kept mentioning that, like, Jeff had, like, a tick or whatever, you know, whenever you mentioned something. Like, he was annoyed at stupidity, which is a thing, but, like, overly annoyed at stupidity. And Nicole was asking pretty stupid questions. I'm not wrong. I'm guessing that wit is definitely Jeff's stat. But I was thinking that he was going to have some sort of, like, not dual personality, but there was some personality thing going on with him. And now we know. He's a sociopath. Good to know. As long as he's a high-functioning sociopath, we'll all be fine. And he's not bringing, you know, small animals into the lab to dissect them, or what have you. I don't know how to feel about this. He was so cool. And, like, I am okay with his, like, ridiculous side. I don't mind sociopath. Like, I don't mind that as a personality. I actually really enjoy it. I like the fact that they're logic-driven, and, like, I understand that they don't understand emotions, because I have problems with certain illogical emotions and things like that, but there's a difference between somebody who's, like, specifically a logical sociopath and somebody who's just kind of a dick that likes... It's, what's the word I'm looking for? A sadistic sociopath. One that actually enjoys causing other people pain. It's not like they just don't understand social etiquette and norms and things like that, and how, like, they're just a jerk because they don't understand. They actually enjoy seeing other people in pain. That's the problem I have with which are completely different sets of sociopath. Like, people like to group them into such terms. I don't know. As long as he's not a psychopath, he's perfectly fine with being a sociopath, even though he's on that end of sociopathism that I really hate. But, again, we haven't spent much time with him, so I don't know that, so I can't be positive that he's not... that he could be lonely as well. And with his sociopathic disorder, just not be able to connect with people, especially when he has problems with stupid people. When you're smarter, it's really hard to connect with other people, and I can totally get that. Like, not that I'm smart, I understand what it's like to be around people that are, like, ask stupid questions. And I hate feeling like like the person that is the stupid person, that the other person is like, you make my brain hurt, please get away from me. And I've been around some of those people. I try really hard not to be stupid around them, but, you know, I'm not as well versed in some subjects. Like, I can't pronunciate words, and it makes me look silly sometimes, but I just accept that and move on. That's just a part of me. I'm not going to be able to learn how to pronounce every word, ever. Oh well. Which is why I enjoy playing Japanese games, but I know for a fact that I butcher Japanese words. Oh, awful, terrible, I'm terrible at it. And before I go off on any more tangents, I'm going to just end this episode, and we'll move on to the next day. If you pay attention to what each character says and how she behaves, it won't be too hard to find out which is his associated stats. Yep. I'm thinking that diligence is Ted's. I don't know. That leaves zeal and amity for Darren. And... wit is definitely Jeff, but I don't like Jeff anymore. He's mean. Darren's probably mean too. Ted's just sweet. He's down home boy. Alright, I'm off on a tangent. I'm ending the episode now. So, until next time, peace out, y'all.